I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. It is actually 6:01 p.m. on May 20th, 2006. All right. Lori, do you want to lead us in prayer for this evening?
Dear Lord, please watch over our fire district and this board. Grant us unity in our efforts and wisdom in our decisions. Guide us to move forward with integrity, respect, and compassion in all we do. Please watch over our Deer Mountain staff and all the wonderful volunteers, the residents and visitors in our district and the land where we live. We're so grateful, Lord, for all those protecting our district and those out fighting fires across the country. Grant them all strength, wisdom, and protection, and a safe return from their duties each day. Thank you, Lord, for all your blessings.
Amen. All right.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Want to lead us in our roll call, Anita?
Miriam?
Present.
Nancy?
Present.
Lori?
Present.
Forrest?
Here.
And JR is
Yes. All right. So let the record show that we do have a quorum this evening with 4 board members. We do have a public sign-up input sheet up here, so if anybody would like to speak for the 3 minutes later tonight, please sign up on the sheet right up here, and then we will just roll right into the approval for the April 15th, 2026 minutes. Did everybody have a chance to review them?
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't vote.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes as written.
Okay, I will second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Okay. So go ahead and lead us in the treasurer's report.
So for ending for the period of April 30th, we had income of $98,643.08. Our expenses were $91,574.96. Our account balances as of 4/30/26. Our checking account is, our main account is at $83,851.04. Emergency reserve, we're at $504,521.81. Capital improvement, we're $124,858.85. Account at $25,926.88. Total accounts balance is $739,157.98. And the bills paid. Okay, so the bill paid report, which runs from the last meeting to today, this meeting, we're at a total of $97,632.61. Within that, though, is probably somewhere between 45 and 50,000 of that is wildland expenses that incurred from deployment, which are reimbursed. So this is something that goes out. It takes 6 months to come back in. So that's kind of a good move there.
That's somewhere around 65.
Was it 65?
I
Meeting
just in my head.
Yeah, you know the payroll. So it's a big number out of this 97, which is,
on the books to be reimbursed, but not quick enough for us. Yeah. So I would make a motion that we, approve the bill pay report and the April treasurer's report.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Passes. Okay.
Kind of hard not to pay the bills.
Yeah.
I dread the day we don't approve it.
The website pay portal discussion. Okay, so, we got the pay portal for credit card payments, the DMS. Well, that is covering the payment.
I can't see you, Nancy. It's like flowers are talking to me.
No, but, anyway, that was put on through the state, program, right, Anita? I wasn't sure who I was working with all the time. But anyway, it's on the website now, and Lori, can you pull it up? I just wanted to see if we wanted to have a look as to where we think it's best suited, or if we want some front language or notice on it.
I think the other sites that we had looked at had like a tab in the main, that would take, on the main thing that would take you.
Yeah, it looks like we do have room for that on the top line.
Currently is under fire department, the drop down under fire department, where I put it, as well as on the quick links from the front page.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, under fire. Sorry.
Payment portal.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
And then it's under quick links again, I put it at the top,
Yeah.
right at the top there.
Yeah.
Is there some other location?
No, I think that's a good location. I'm just wondering if we don't want to say, maybe we want to add something.
Where?
Say, I'm gonna put.
Can we add a main navigation
Oh, absolutely, I
button?
can just move it
Let's just
over.
do that. Let's just do a main navigation button that's literally right there on that front. Like if they go to our website, they'll see payment portal. Boom, they hit
Okay,
that.
and then I think.
Like up in the tab, is that what it is?
In the tab, so you want
Yeah.
an additional tab that says payment portal.
I think so.
Yeah.
Or do you want it listed first, second, third, five, sixth?
Or at the end.
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
end. I would say at the right,
You're
right
good.
side end.
And then when it goes to that payment portal, is there an option there? Let's see, I just want to see if I think we somehow need to make notice that there's a fee that's involved in using this up, kind of somewhere.
So, payment.
Right here. Yeah, see, it doesn't really say any.
It probably does
When you pay, but I think we should.
So we just need like a little disclaimer written or something at the top of it that says what the percentage is that they'll be
maybe
charged.
on that first page, Anita, when you
If
go
you give me
to
the
it.
information, I'll pop it right in there.
Okay,
I don't know
okay.
the fee or.
Okay, and I'll get
Write it
that,
out now.
I'll get that together, and I think it should go,
In
it would
on
go
that page.
right there.
You
with
got it.
Pay by credit card for this, that.
Because it doesn't matter if
And-
you use your credit card or your bank account, you're still going to pay a fee for it.
I don't think it's, I think that it's only for credit card. So whether it's debit or credit, that portal is gonna charge, I believe. And I will also want to put in there, it's also there's the option for donation on that as well. And
Okay.
so we'll have a little description, I'll give you,
Perfect.
I'll give
And
you
there's
the
a link for
language.
both, because there's a link.
There is. So
Is that a link
payments,
or service? Not a link.
it just says what it is,
Right.
but after that, when it says payments
Then
or
it's a
services
drop-down.
provided, we can say credit card, with a such and such a fee, like everybody in the world has now. And we'll do the same thing on the donations. We may not have to add too much, that looks good.
If we just,
I'll just make
I
sure.
put it up. I didn't know the other information about the fees involved, or I would have
No,
put that
I
on.
know, but this looks great.
It looks great.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that works. So we'll maybe, I'll get you something, and but I think that's set up almost perfectly with it, except we'll add another tab up top, because I do think people tend to look at across
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, I would say so. And that's usually where all of the ones that I saw were on the very right. Mhm.
Yeah, far right.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so there's that. Lori and I are registered for a SBA half-day workshop. It's in June.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So,
Buena Vista.
Buena Vista this time. But it's good information. We'll get the booklets. I thought we haven't gotten a new booklet.
No, the ones that they gave me were the 2025 ones, so I don't think they have the 2026
They
ones
will
out.
at this
Yeah.
meeting. That's part of what this is.
Yeah.
We got them last year. And and we'll see what's going on everywhere, you know.
But they go over a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's great. And what's nice is, do you guys know that, so you know how they send you that like email link that takes you to the portal that you can look at all the agendas and stuff? So you can go back in there at any time and watch the live recordings for an entire year afterwards. So like if there are breakout sessions that you don't like, that you choose your adventure or whatever, you can actually go back and watch other ones too. So I do also have the login from the SDA work conference, that if you guys are interested in watching any of those, let me know, and I'm happy to pass mine along as well. Yeah.
This is usually just a half day.
Yeah.
Kind of informative.
Yeah, it's kind of 9 to noon, not even a whole. But we do get those booklets.
Yeah.
Okay, so expanding the district and zoning compliance. Okay, so I'm just bringing this up because we kind of left some of that stuff hanging that JR was working on.
Yeah.
We never followed up with incorporating.
The 2 people we voted on, right? Because we have 2 we did a vote that we...
Well, and they're going through and doing it as individuals.
Right.
But I think there were bigger areas we wanted to capture.
Yes, there is. And actually, James did a really nice report for us. I didn't put it on here because I wanted to see what this conversation was first before we dived into the larger areas, but I'll forward that around. And then
I think that's something that we shouldn't drop, and as well as that capturing 69 and 50 in the district. I think that after that's going to be an effort, but I think in the end it might really help us. So I think what we need to do is figure out kind of what our costs would be, you know, to incorporate that. Yes, the administrative
especially
costs, the
where
printing
we're
costs,
going,
the mailing costs.
right.
There's a lot involved in that, and I don't think we know everything to be in a position to vote to do this or do that.
Right. Yeah, and that's kind of why I had tabled the other larger piece, because I wanted to bring that in once I kind of knew what this conversation was. Especially because I also know that we have those 2 properties, but I think we were initially going to use the 2 properties as sort of our way of figuring out what the cost associated for us is, just individually, so then we could do a larger one. Wasn't that kind of what we had talked about? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'd be interested in trying to figure out. I think it's a big effort, though. I think we have a big effort to go evaluate where we're not getting compensated and why we're not getting, a full-on county battle.
Right.
To say, if we're responding to this area, some of these areas in the county, right, that we're not,
well, and that's what James and I and Miriam have been working on, is squaring that off too.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do 5 miles of Highway 50 that's covered by the sheriff, then we need to get that in our district. so that we can absorb those 5 miles. So when we go to write a grant, that's
Yeah.
5 more miles on the grant that we cover.
Right,
And
right.
that's
Plus, when that other
State stuff.
state
Correct.
study
Mhm.
that they're doing,
Also
which will be done in 2
focuses on
years,
that,
focuses
Yeah,
on.
focuses on that.
on state and county roads.
And I was talking with the Tallahassee Fire Chief the other day because they come all the way up to county or mile marker 11
Mhm.
in the canyon, and he said he would have no problem giving that up to us. I think it goes to County Road 3 to Temple Canyon, where Canyon City takes over. That little area down the canyon is really weird how it's split up and cut
I
up.
know.
But Tallahassee can come all the way over to mile marker 11
Right,
to cover that calls there when we're closer than they are. So,
yeah. Well,
um,
I think this is a worthwhile effort, but it'll be a good effort.
it's gonna take a lot more conversations and some meetings to get it figured out, but I think we need to absorb
Yeah,
as much as we can, because that mileage is gonna show up really well on grants.
yes. And-
Whether there's
and we
houses
should
on that
be kind of
or
big.
not, we should be.
I mean, and I think that might involve our lawyer too, because
Yeah.
we're gonna have to make some arguments here in cases.
Right.
You know, and try to I mean, I'd like to really recoup something real
Right.
from this, and then,
Especially since we're servicing.
that's
Correct.
Right.
Well, like the semi truck that caught fire today was technically in no man's land covered by the sheriff, and we went, drove down there and made sure that there was nothing on fire, because we didn't want it coming into the district.
Yeah.
But we took fire truck and an ambulance, and we ran fuel down there and fuel back and wages and maintenance on the apparatus to make sure it doesn't come into our district. It wasn't
Yeah.
anything reimbursable for us or anything, it wasn't our jurisdiction.
Right.
But again, it's to try to protect our home.
Nobody else was gonna go.
Correct, nobody else was gonna go. So,
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And that's-
And if it had been a fire, or had become a fire, then you would have been out there fighting it, and we'd have gotten
Nothing,
nothing.
correct. But that's kind of why I want that territory and that no man's land is supposedly covered by the sheriff, because that will help us out in the end.
Right, with all the accidents, I
Correct.
mean, even if there's no tax dollars in some of those areas.
If there's a car accident and they spill oil or fluid on there and we clean it up, we can charge their insurance for hazmat cleanup. There's some reimbursables.
There's some
there that make it
reimbursables, yeah.
worthwhile.
And if it's in our county, at least, we get.
Right.
And then that also, I guess I'm waging war with the county. The zoning compliance matters. I think this is something that's in the interest of public safety and the use of our resources, in that the county does not enforce zoning. So we have a lot of houses, or not houses, but occupants illegal to zoning in buildings that aren't to code, that they shouldn't be there. Never mind the HOAs and all that other stuff. It's a permitted county and you need to be zoned, and they're not enforcing that.
They don't have enough people, enough time, or enough
It doesn't matter,
resources.
it's a law on their
I-
books, and I think it causes us a lot of problems, because you have all these campers, all these people here, way more than they should be, using propane things, and they have no incentive to complete their houses and get us real tax dollars. It's like improved land. But it's occupied, so our resources are treating it as if it's an improved property with a tax revenue to it. That, that's a real burden on us. When they have a sign that says Fremont County is permitted for zoning, and they're not doing it.
Well, it
And
becomes
you
a
go and
fire.
ask them, and it is a hazard, all these kind of illegal,
The campfires,
properties.
9-foot campfires. I remember that.
and people living there in the winter with generators and this sort of stuff. It's really, I think it's a real
It is a legit issue. The problem is manpower to enforce and.
Well, then they need to change it or, direct, compliance to somebody else. I mean, So all you we can't have it both ways.
All we would be able to do is put forth a complaint.
Correct.
Right, to the
So,
county
but-
to say they're not enforcing their own zoning laws.
That's all would be able to do,
Okay.
is put forth a complaint stating that, the fire danger of,
Right, and the
All the
expended
non-compliances.
resources that we have to put out for these illegal occupants.
maybe if nothing else, they would help us with enforcing some of the fire codes.
We have to adopt a fire code before we can enforce anything.
But there are county codes that
We
the
do need
sheriff
to
would
adopt the fire
enforce.
code.
But again, that's kind of a legal battle too.
Right.
I would want to go at this more, not with a, please won't you do this, or why can't you do this, but
Right.
you're obligated to do this, and if you don't,
Right. Okay, so before we move on to zoning compliance and what that looks like as far as what we want to do, can we back up to annexing conversation really quick?
Yes,
'Cause I
yes.
First of all, I feel like maybe the two people that we already voted on that we need to move forward with, I feel like we should probably take that off of JR's plate right now. With everything
Yeah.
going on, so I don't know, do you guys want me to take that on and I can start working with our lawyer as far as what that paperwork looks like and what we have to do for inclusion
Now
on
let's
that?
find out what we have to do,
Okay.
and then we can talk about that at the next meeting and,
Okay,
maybe put together a way to get it all done.
Yeah.
okay, that sounds good, and then what I'll do is for the next meeting, I will add also, I'll send around the report that James put together and the revenues and things like that you guys can see for squaring off our district. And then we can talk about that too, but at least start with these two and then.
You should be on a committee of
Yeah.
formally doing this, because this is board matters and
Right.
we're not board members. And if it's not
Okay.
authorized by committee, we're not
Okay,
privy
we can definitely do it. He obviously just did this out of his.
Oh, I
own
know,
kindness,
so
I
I'm
wanted
just
to share what
saying
he
though,
did
we
with
can't
Yes,
really,
we can do
we
it.
can't
wanna-
cross over.
so we
People
should-
cannot be involved in what we do if they're not authorized on a committee.
Okay, fair enough.
So let's take a look at that and then form a committee
Right,
and get James on it.
right.
Okay, we can do that, so I will add, let me just
If they're
add a note
willing
to
to.
form. So we can add that to next month's. Form a, should we just call it like a boundary committee or something, while that's on the agenda for next month? Annexing.
And.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
And then
'cause that
for
would
the
be
other
good to have
two-
a formal committee on that, because then we can actually do something.
Right, okay. Yep, that sounds perfect. I will add that to the agenda for next month. Agenda.
And lastly, banking status. Our bank has actually, for all my complaints, I'm going to say they've really been doing us right lately. So we got the credit card line for wildland increased. So because I saw there were some debit declines.
Yes, they
Just
went on to the
yesterday or
credit card
something.
yesterday.
Good, okay,
So as
because
soon
I
as you told
think,
me, they got a message to swap over.
okay, good, because there were declines, and I have a feeling because the debit card has a daily limit, so if they're doing all their hotels for a week on one day, do you see what I mean? It'll exceed that limit, and it'll be declined.
So what did they do about those declines? Do you know?
They went to the credit
They
card.
went to the
Oh,
credit card,
okay, good.
which they
They're,
always, they
they're taking
always
care of it. They're doing
could.
fine. They're stuck in Guyman, Oklahoma right now. So
Okay,
they hope to get a full 14 days. They started demobbing because of the weather, a bunch of crews, but they said they were going to get hung out to stay hopefully for the full 14.
good.
Because that fire's increasing.
Which one?
The one in Oklahoma,
into Colorado is becoming.
Yeah,
it's been
they're all
growing.
kind of going
It's
crazy
only
right now.
like
but-
81% contained.
So hopefully they're out there for the full 2 weeks, but we'll see what happens. As soon as they get home, we'll get it relisted and go again.
And the other thing on banking is we have changed over our checking accounts to money market checking accounts. So we, at a 3% return.
Excellent.
Yeah, which, so we're making some money.
We'll take all the percentages we can get.
No, that's right, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
And it is a pretty good jump for, I mean, if you or I went in with even personally with that amount of money, it would have been at 1.83%.
Oh, wow, so they really are.
So they are.
We caught their attention with
Yes,
that.
exactly, so
It was
it
actually
really
the
is.
vice president of the bank.
Bank that we talked to that day that offered that.
Nice.
So,
That's great.
So I think that's it for me.
All right, thank you, Nancy. You're up, Miss Lori. I put you guys together because I figured that just makes more sense than having you like divide it up.
Back, yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
because it kind of relates.
It
Yeah.
does all relate, and I just felt like that made more logical sense, so.
Yeah, and the treasurer's report, you kind of went first, just so we know what's going on.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. So the C-SLIP account, we had gone in way earlier in the month to transfer that money, but the girl that Samantha wasn't, she was on vacation. So we went back and we transferred $50,000 into the C-SLIP account. It has been confirmed that it's there.
I got the receipt too.
Yes, I knew you did. And
From
C-
the emergency account.
Right, from the emergency account. So C-SLIP pays 3.7, which is certainly higher than what we're getting at the bank, but with the amount of money that we're moving around and with the amount of money that we would still have left in our bank account, I think we had this discussion. We're making more money at our 3%, leaving as much as we have right now. And I'm hoping in the future, when this year is up and the fire season is over, if we have really come out ahead significantly with our wildland, then we can put more in C-SLIP and still have a significant amount in
And
our
still
bank
keep
account.
that, yeah, because if we wipe out the bank account, we
They're
won't
gonna
get
take
the
that away.
3%.
Because while I was on vacation and we had gone in there to change the accounts, they weren't gonna give us the 3%. And so when she got back, then she talked with him and,
We're like, wait now.
yeah, so.
No,
So
I'm happy with
they are doing
$50,000
us a
there.
favor.
I think
So,
that's great. Was it easy to transfer it in and all, like as far
yeah,
as
it
the
went
moving
well.
and stuff?
It
Okay,
went
good.
well. Yeah, and they do have some changes coming up, so we won't be transferring to the same place when
Okay.
we transfer again, but it'll be a while.
Okay.
And I did talk with that Mr. Mendenhall. He called me because we hadn't funded our account yet. And I explained to him why and where we were, and he said, I totally understand, everybody's in that position.
I'm sure he's got a
So
lot
he was
of-
very nice.
Yeah, I mean, people aren't banking money at the moment.
Right.
You know, anybody.
Right.
In our situation.
So, and it is fire season, so he did understand. The wildland update, we have a crew out again, as we all know. The bills are in, they have not been touched yet.
Okay.
They will go through them all, and I'm sure they'll have questions, especially on the Texas deployment. We'll see what happens, but looking at what we have billed, I think that so far we should be ahead by about $75,000.
Amazing.
So, and that is, because I figure possibly $80,000, but if I take the $6,000 that we have set back for the trucks and equipment out, it should put us ahead somewhere around $75,000.
That's more than
So
the
far.
budget for the year for
Yeah.
wildland ladies, so.
If we can get it back from this year, otherwise we're in trouble. I mean,
And
I
it-
don't know when to do the budget amendment because of this.
Right.
Because we need to have some sense.
And
of-
I was gonna bring that up too, yes. On the P&L, we had Colette make a note in wildland because we are severely over budget in our wildland expenses, obviously. And it's been within the last month. There's no way we could have done anything about this, no matter what.
Okay.
But
it's a reimbursable.
tagging
And
it
those
as a
things-
reimbursable. So it's tagged on the P&L as a reimbursable.
So it shouldn't fall into our bottom line
We're not,
budget.
Is that something that we can maybe ask the auditor about? Because in 2017, we got dinged for that, for going over budget in wildland, and it's like it could cause us some really big issues. So we may need to do the amendment and account for that.
I'm feeling
Well,
like,
we definitely would when we amend it. It's just.
No, I know.
As soon as we
Yeah, we might have to.
and see, this is the
Yeah, that's what I'm
problem
worried.
because it takes 30, we have to put out a 30-day notice before
Right.
we make the amendment.
But then I'm worried we need to make some other decisions this year coming up to know fully how to amend it.
Right,
So we don't, we didn't see this coming either.
right.
So
I think, I
Well,
guess,
it will get amended
Right.
and done, whether it needs to be done instantly, whether there's an infraction.
can we ask the auditor that since it's.
I think we
since it
should.
is-
I don't think he'll know.
It's in our audits, that's where it's.
Oh, it was?
Yes,
It
so
was?
the auditor
Okay.
should be able to tell
Good.
us. And
Okay.
if that's the case, then we may have to call a special meeting to do all the things and whatnot, but I think we need to do that.
I think so too.
Yeah, it's, from what I
Because-
found when I was doing all the
Yeah,
stuff,
the checking on
that's
those
a
things.
really big deal, and we want to make sure not to do that, because it actually could put us in some very dire situations
Yeah.
because of the 2017 issue.
Right, see, I think they probably dealt with it and didn't deal with it at
Right.
all in the budget. We are going to amend it to include big numbers for, even if we don't know the rest of the year, we will overestimate rather
Right.
than underestimate. And we'll be okay, but it's just this interim period, I'm worried,
Okay.
I know,
Yeah.
I woke up because this has all happened in the last, since our last meeting.
Right,
We
right.
were fine on the budget, but
Right.
I'm not sure what we do. But I know I woke up in the middle of the night going, payroll is absolutely over. And it's gonna be even worse over because we just paid $22,000 out on Monday.
Gotcha, for all the wildland. Okay.
So,
Let's check with the auditor.
Okay, I'll call the auditor.
And then let me know right away, and I can send out a notice and do what we need to do if we have to.
And probably our audit will be complete. He'll probably be doing a report for July, I suspect. That's
Okay.
what he did last time.
Okay.
At the July meeting, he presented it and we approved it and adopted it, kind of thing.
so that was my question on the wildland update was what we have to do with our budget because we have quickly gone over our $60,000.
Right. Okay.
So
Let's
the-
ask the auditor, and then if need be, I can always shoot, like Ann Terry or somebody an email and just find out what the best practice is there for us to.
Yeah,
So.
yeah,
we can make
if
sure.
he,
Okay.
Yeah, if he says we have to take care of this like immediately, then we need to call a meeting and we
Yeah,
need
do
to get
the
it
dates and all
posted
that.
and do all, but because
Yeah.
it can't
It's
be done in
still,
less
it's
than
still
30
like,
days.
no, it's more like 60 because you have to post it.
And then have a
and then
meeting.
and have the meeting, and then it's in the paper, it has to be posted again. So it's a process.
Yeah.
I was hoping and looking and thinking that September would be a good time to do that because we'll kind of fully have
Yeah.
a better feel for everything.
Everything.
But I don't
And-
think we're gonna make it. till
If we can get by with that, without with this like it is for this interim period.
I'll look back on that 2017 audit and
Okay.
see what I can find out about what actually happened that year and if we did amend it, and I'll do.
Because if
more
it
digging on
wasn't
that.
amended, that might.
Right,
be a
that,
problem.
well, that would have, right, that would be a problem. But we will fix it before, you
Okay.
know.
Yeah, I'll look into that first thing tomorrow morning, actually.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah,
sorry,
let
not
us-
tomorrow. I'm
let us
driving
know
to
what it
Colorado
says.
Springs, so first thing Friday morning, I will check into that, and that'll give you tomorrow to call back.
Okay,
and see,
yeah.
and then we can reconvene and figure out what we need to do for that.
So I have one more thing. We got the plumbing, White Brothers has been doing the plumbing next door. The certification came in, we passed the inspection. So it's all, I have a copy of it. It's all taken care of. We can pour the concrete now. White Brothers will come in and fill the trenches.
Trenches are filled.
They
just
did it
need
already?
concrete.
So, and he's coming in the morning. So the guy that they work with to pour concrete, and he's local, he gave me his number, and he's gonna come at 8 o'clock in the morning and take a look and give us a bid. He's also gonna give us a bid because when they pour that concrete, it's gonna look like a patch in that bathroom. So he said he would separate out and give us a bid to epoxy and flake that floor. And we can do that next year if we want to, so. But actually, we may be able to do that anyway. We did our garage, so we have practice. And that's all I have on that. So I'm done.
All right, thank you. I guess I'm on. So as you guys know, I've been working closely with Chief Widener throughout the development process of our 2026 service plan to ensure operational service descriptions are accurately representing the district's current capabilities, staffing models, response realities, apparatus needs, and long-term sustainability concerns. So, you know, we went through, I just want to say thank you first and foremost to Chief Widener and to everybody that has contributed to this document. I know that I do have all of the edits and everything in the document from JR, so he has reviewed everything. I have all of the things that we had talked about in our first draft. So this has really been through, I mean, chief, assistant chief, everybody's looked at stuff. I've been working with the county, as you guys know. I was informed that in 2013, we were not actually given permission to run EMS services in the district, that we were actually granted licensing for ambulances, and that was all. And so it's kind of this strange thing to me that, like,
The county
Colorado's-
doesn't do anything.
it's like Colorado, like, it's like left hand doesn't know what right hand's doing to me. I'm like,
It's not
okay,
like
this-
they came and said, you didn't do
Do
this.
this.
Yeah.
It's only been how many years?
I know.
20-something years? I guess it was real important.
So ultimately, we were approved for ambulance licensing in 2013, but there was never a formal submission to the county for any material modifications for the district's services, nor was there a resolution submitted for the approval of said service modifications. So
And I thought they had a hearing and,
they did, but that was all for licensing. It wasn't actually for services. So it's two pieces. So the initial part is getting the licensing and establishing, the way that he explained it to me is the first part is getting the licensing for the ambulance and basically establishing, is it gonna be an ALS or BLS ambulance? Who's gonna cover ALS calls since we were only BLS? So that was really the whole thing, and I mean, he pulled all the minutes, he talked to the commissioners that were there, he talked to all the people that, you know, came, which were like all of the different emergency people out there that are still around, actually. Tom, somebody or other, I can't remember the guy's name, but anyhow. Long short, ultimately, this has been through the commissioners, it's been through the county attorney, they've, checked, and so I do have a verbal confirmation from the county commissioners that they will approve our service plan with the amendments of the fact that we've been running EMS for all of these years. So that's the good news. Once we adopt it and do a formal vote, then I will send the draft with the exhibits and the resolution to the county commissioners. And then he had mentioned that if we do vote and it does pass at this particular meeting, the next county commissioner meeting is probably a little too quick for them. So he's likely going to put us on the June 9th meeting. Will be when Chief and I will go. And if anybody wants to come, of course, I'll let everybody know. And if anybody, these are open meetings, so if anyone from the community would like to come and, support us while we present this to the county commissioners, that would be great as well. So I am really, really excited about the service plan. This has taken 6 months to write and review, and to go through. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, obviously, but I do want to just kind of point out some of the sections of everything, because this is really probably one of the most comprehensive service plans I've seen out there. I based it off of, I basically, Chief and I pulled and got service plans from Wet Mountain and from AVAD. So I was able to take an ambulance and a fire and look at how they, how they are structured. One of the things that came out when we were doing this, because I learned a lot about our district going through this. To write this, I literally looked at 10 years of audits, 10 years of budgets, 6 years of call volume. We pulled every possible stat you could think of to look at everything across the board. And what I found really fascinating and very interesting, and I'll tell you, I stopped the county commissioners in their tracks when I said this to them, but we are the 3rd top volume district behind Canyon and Florence in Fremont County. So that really changed things for me, because initially I was looking at Tallahassee and Howard and AVAD and all that, it's not even comparing apples to oranges, it's comparing apples to a watermelon, you know what I mean? So once I realized that, I kind of went back to the drawing board, started looking at what Canyon was doing, what Florence was doing, what Wet Mountain, because they're right behind us as far as volume. If you combine all of our mutual aid, we are 4th behind Canyon, Florence, Custer County, Deer Mountain. And when I say volume, I'm talking 3 times, 4 times the volume of any of the other ones. So it's just not applicable anymore when you really look at it. So through this, this will replace it'll supersede any previous service plans that are on. It has an introduction and authority. It has a purpose, which really was to define the nature and the scope of the level of services that are provided by Deer Mountain. It establishes our statutory authority for both fire and EMS operations here. It ensures continuity and protection of public health, safety, and welfare. It provides a financial and operational framework for guaranteed services, and it demonstrates compliance with all applicable. So there's a district description, there is the powers that we are still defined as a fire protection district, but we are allowed to add, services as a fire protection district. We have all of the said proposed services, which, one of the other big things that came out of this that I really encourage us to start thinking about is that at this point, we have year over year for 6 years running 20% minimum call volume lift every single year, and it is compounding. It's not, so like for 4 years or whatever, we're at I want to say it was like 63 or 65% increase in just the 4 years. We haven't hit a ceiling on this. So even when we sat down and we budgeted this year, we budgeted off of 2025's numbers without actually realizing that just that 20% lift is really going to cost us an additional $25,000 in gas and services and all the things that go with actually running that volume. So I think moving forward, that's one of the things we will start projecting into our budgets is that growth, because right now at this point we don't have a ceiling. We don't know where that ends. And that's a big problem because ultimately it's costing us a lot more money, as you can see. This goes through and talks about the population. These were all the numbers that, we had from the county and stuff, and I did get any of the numbers and stuff that's been in here. I have been working with Stacy and other people at the county to get all the proper things that we need for this. So I think the big thing that's really exciting about this particular document is it does have a full financial structure that really goes through revenue that's related to our operations. I added a formal sunset policy statement in here saying that this year we did pull out some for these one-time expenditures, some for covering the budget gap for the year while we figured out, but I did put in a policy that said that we will not be continuing to do that. That was one of the big things that was recommended as far as when I was looking at other. We got kind of dinged on that because it kind of looks like everything we pulled out for one-time expenditures is to balance the budget, and that's not exactly true. So it really came down to $54,000 was when you take the $100,000 for the truck, the $50,000 for the other, that out of that 204, the leftover is the 54. So that's all outlined in here, and obviously it does state that if we need to vote or something like that, then clearly we can do, but that this particular transfer for this year was a one-time thing. So I did also add a service degradation risk in here that really does outline the fact that if we do not bring in more revenues, that we will either have to that we'll either have to go after a mill levy or funding, or we will have to reduce services. So expenses related to the district's organization and operation really went through, built, based off of the budget that we had, divvied everything out into what is reoccurring operational expenses, and that has to be covered by reoccurring revenue. So it's all in there, which is amazing.
We have to do this every year. We have to update it. Is it in such a way we can just change the numbers?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to do next. This one was really to match 2026 because ultimately we needed a baseline.
Right.
And then 2027, we will figure out what that one looks like, whether we have additional funding or whether we have to pull services back. And then from that one, what I was planning on doing was making a template of the service plan that just has redded, where the numbers are that we would have to change. Yeah. But when I did talk to South Metro and Canyon and a couple other people about this, they do update their service plan annually. So
yeah, DOLA requires it. I mean, maybe there's no real changes, but we wouldn't have to do the resolution and the approval by the commissioners each time.
It depends on whether we have what they would consider material modification to services.
Okay.
So what he did tell me is that we will have to do a resolution every year, just like we do with the budget resolutions at the beginning of the year. That's fine. But, and send that in. And he did say that if we wouldn't necessarily always have to go before them. They might look at it and say, rubber stamp it, basically.
Okay.
But yes, we will add this to our annual,
So that's in January, that's what.
Actually, what I was told is that they,
Well, for DOLA it is.
yeah, so for DOLA, so we would have, this one will be in there, and then
January
it is in
1,
January.
we have to update.
Yeah.
To
So-
be on their side.
Yeah, so what South Metro told me is that they start actually this whole process in July once the state changes whatever regulations they are.
have, yeah.
So then that way we would start working on it, latter part of the year, so we're ready to go by January 1.
Yeah.
And then it would have any of the changes to, any of the changes that the state makes incorporated in it. So that's kind of the process of this, but it really goes through everything. There's governance, there's compliance, and then obviously conclusion in the exhibits. We have the current Deer Mountain map of our boundaries. We have the budget that is, on file with DOLA. We have a financial plan that literally outlines the reoccurring revenue, what those actual structures are, one-time revenue, what those structures are, all of the carryover and how all that breaks down to reoccurring expenditure, expense structure based off of our, what they call true cost of service, which is ultimately the cost that it takes us to run the department. So all of that is in here, including the indebtedness. I did add the new truck in there, so thank you ladies for getting me that information. It outlines all the one-time capital expenditures, and it also has a very cool capital plan in here that literally goes through 2024 and shows us when we need to change trucks. This was put together by chief and assistant chief as far as what they want in years. I front-loaded some of this based off of, just where we're going to look for grant funding. We added some inflated costs as of, I want to say 5 years out. We started inflating the estimated total for them.
Yeah.
So it just at least gives us a plan and shows what we are looking at, so we know what we need to do. And what's really amazing about this, then, so it's also got all the exhibit notes and capital plan notes. So that's all in the financial plan, and then Exhibit D is the intergovernment agencies. These are just all of the different agencies that we have mutual aid with. I didn't list phone numbers and contact just because I didn't want that information floating around. So we do obviously maintain that internally, but that is at least listed there. So I feel really good about this. Did you guys have any questions about it when you reviewed it? I know we've been kind of going through all of the revisions and stuff, so I just wanted to open it up, and if anybody had any questions, concerns, comments, peanut gallery.
I didn't have I didn't have the final copy, I don't think. Because I don't have the numbers.
It's the one I
It's
sent.
here.
Yeah,
It's actually here.
Yeah, it's there, but it's not here.
it's because it's the exhibit.
It's part of the.
It is, yeah, it's an exhibit that's part of the service plan. The financial plan is the exhibit.
But I don't know, but see, and the numbers there.
Right, I see the numbers. I just was looking
Isn't it? They got it with the truck.
here.
No, that is not the right one. Here, I have an extra one actually.
Because I don't have that. If you sent it, I didn't get it.
I sent that back with one, but here, I have another one. This one has it.
Because I also don't have that schedule of replacement.
Well, you can just send the final one once it's approved to all of us.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll, this is it for you guys to look at.
So I never got this.
They were on all the emails I sent.
I know, but I didn't get it finished.
But it's all the numbers you sent me were all the ones that I had asked for.
Right. I just never got the finished copy.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, there we go. That's what you
Yeah.
didn't see,
See,
yeah.
I didn't have this. It wasn't in
The
my.
capital plan.
So in that, and I had printed out that last one you sent, so I don't know if maybe it got, the wrong one got attached or something.
No, it's in there. But maybe it just didn't print on, like for some
Yeah.
reason, just didn't print or something. But yeah, so it's, it just shows like based off of years, some of it is, it is a little aggressive early on, which we're gonna have to go after some grants and stuff for that, but ultimately, we have a aging apparatus, fleet that, it has to be addressed.
yeah.
Yeah,
right.
so this really shows what trucks we have, what is recommended as far as the trucks for replacement. Like I said, about 5 years into the replacement plan, we started doing some inflated cost estimations, just so that way we have at least a little more realistic number of what those things would look like. I did take into account pushing, like if we were right on the edge of when, say, the building gets paid off in 31, I pushed obviously if we had something from 2030 to 2031, I pushed it to 2031 for us. So that is, so that's the thing. and we're ready to go with it. I'm really excited to have,
Yay,
To-
off your plate.
yes, to have this off my plate. It's been quite a project. I mean, Chief and I have spent hours on this, going through it, reading, I can't even tell you how many drafts and, and pulling all the information from here to there to everything. So, with that, I would like to make a motion to adopt the service plan for 2026.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and then with that,
Again.
I will. Yes, I totally will. And then with that, I would like to make a vote to adopt resolution 2026-0520-06. I do have to read this in completion, so I'm going to just go ahead and read it. Resolution of the Board of Directors of Deer Mountain Fire Protection District approving and adopting an updated service plan and authorizing submission to the Fremont County Board of County Commissioners. Whereas the Deer Mountain Fire Protection District, the district, is duly organized and existing special district organized pursuant to Article 1 of Title 32 Colorado Revised Statutes. And whereas the district provides fire protection, fire prevention, rescue, emergency medical response, related emergency services to residents, property owners, and visitors within the district boundaries located in Fremont County, Colorado. And whereas the Board of Directors, the board, has determined that an updated service plan is necessary to accurately reflect the district's current operations, statutory powers, organizational structure, emergency medical transport services, financial structure, capital needs, and long-term service obligations. And whereas the board further finds that the updated service plan promotes transparency, long-range planning, fiscal accountability, and coordination with the Fremont County Board of County Commissioners, and whereas the proposed service plan has been reviewed by the board and is intended to supersede and replace prior organizational and operational descriptions previously associated with the district. And whereas the board finds that adoption of the updated service plan is in the best interest of the district and the citizens and property owners served by the district. Now therefore, be it resolved to the Board of Directors of the Deer Mountain Fire Protection District as follows. Section 1, approval of service plan. The board hereby approves and adopts the updated service plan for the Deer Mountain Fire Protection District attached hereto and incorporated herein by this reference. Section 2, authorization for submission. The board hereby authorizes and directs the The board hereby authorizes and directs the district's officers to submit the adopted service plan and all supporting materials to the Fremont County Board of County Commissioners for review and approval in accordance with application provisions of Colorado law. Purpose and intent, Section 3, the adopted service plan is intended to clarify and formally establish long-standing services provided by the district, including fire service, emergency medical service, and ambulance transport. Establish the district's operational, financial, and governance framework, support long-term sustainability of emergency services within the district, provide transparency and accountability regarding the district operations and financial planning, and to ensure continuity of protection of life, property, and public safety within the district. Section 4 is compliance with law. The board affirms that all actions related to the adoption of this resolution and the service plan shall be conducted in accordance with the applicable Colorado law, including but not limited to Title 32 Colorado Revised Statutes, the Colorado Open Meeting Law CRS 24-6-401, the Colorado Open Records Act, CRS 24-72201, and applicable favor requirements under Article X, Section 20 of the Colorado Constitution. Effective date, this resolution shall take immediate effect upon adoption. So I will move to adopt this resolution.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so adopted and approved on the 20th day of May 2026 by the Board of Directors of the Deer Mountain Fire Protection District. And then I will sign this, and then Anita will attest and certify that the foregoing resolution was duly adopted by the Board of Directors of the Deer Mountain Fire Protection District at a regular meeting held on the 20th day of May. Whoosh! Yes! Oh, goodness.
And this will be published on our website.
So I'm not going to publish this quite yet. What I will publish is once it's approved. Unless, do we need to publish what's going as far as resolution 2? Do you have any idea about that? Okay. Okay.
I publish every other resolution that comes forward and is accepted at that meeting.
At the meeting,
At the meeting,
usually
okay.
it would go with the minutes.
Okay. Okay, so then, yeah, I guess we will, because it does say in here that the attached document is with the resolution, so, okay. So I will get you all of the electronic documents of this, so, except for the resolution, I'll give you the one that has the signatures on it.
And once she puts it on there, I'll want to see on Facebook.
Yeah, and then I would love, like I said, when it does come to us going to the county commissioners, I would love to, I want to do a couple things. I would like to ideally try to share the live link when we're there, so that way if people in the community want to watch it, they could watch it live, and then once the video's out, I can either screen grab or we can snippet the little section and be able to share that aspect as well. And then the last piece that I will put on this, on the, I did put the board adoption date, but I will on the cover page, I am also going to add when everything goes to the board of directors, or to the Board of County Commissioners, and then we'll put all of this together so that way nobody ever has to guess when this was adopted, who it was adopted by, did it go to the, county commissioners, that sort of thing. So I really just want all the information together.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so on to my next lengthy. Sorry if you guys are gonna be sick of hearing me talk. So we did our survey, the ballot measure survey.
That wasn't on the agenda,
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I
Oh,
was wondering.
it's supposed to be. It's not. It was supposed to be on there. I must have missed it. So I'm gonna have to table it until next, because I thought I had it on there. So you should. Oh, I did have it on there. I must have, I bet when I went back and added the resolution number in there, I probably took
Wiped it
my,
out.
yeah, I bet I took my other bullet in. Bummer, okay.
No, we should have said something, because
Well, it was
Lori
too late.
noticed, but
I
it was
noticed
too late.
it was too late.
Yeah, that
It was
was-
already, because I noticed like Monday afternoon, but I was hoping maybe we'd just skip.
Yeah. All right, well,
Can
we
we
will.
discuss it at all, or?
I don't think so technically, because it's new business, and it's not publicly, out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think that what we could do though is that we could publish the results on our survey page. I'll send around, I know I sent everybody the results, but they did send it in a nice little presentation. So we do have that. I don't know. Or do we just have to wait until next month? Bummer, I'm sorry about that, you guys,
I didn't see it, because I asked you for, when I asked you for the agenda, because I hadn't seen it. And then after you sent it to me, that's when, but that was like yesterday, so it was too late.
All right, well, I will add survey results to next month. Oh my goodness, and we were all excited to hear about it.
Well, we'll give us a little
Time
chance
to absorb it, yeah.
to
Yeah,
look at it. So in that respect,
This week,
we'll
yeah,
have,
this week's been, it's
we'll be able to
crazy.
talk about it a little more,
right.
have a
We
little
need
more.
to talk about it before, then we can have an executive.
Yeah. Yeah, we could definitely call another if something. I think we should be okay to talk about it at the next meeting. So
One thing about it, we can all go over it a little, spend a little more time going over it. I
Right.
wonder if we can pass that around to the board.
I'll send you guys the digital copy of it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty much the exact same stuff I sent you guys already. It's just in, like, it's like a PowerPoint versus all those charts that are, kind of mind-bending to look at. Okay, well, I apologize about that. So then I guess that's all I have is just the service plan because I made a mistake and did not add it to my agenda. So I will follow my own rules of no new business and add that to June's meeting so we can discuss it. Vice Chairman JR is not here, so he does have an excused absence, so we will move on to Forrest.
So going with media policies, we talked about last month, and we'll bring those at a future date. Public media, Facebook, YouTube policy, we'll bring those at a future date. And then Lori and I are still talking about the signs, and we're gonna do some good research on that before we present that to the board. New
Yes.
signs for the neighborhood.
So hopefully we'll have something together by next month, some prices and some ideas.
And that's it.
All right, Chief Widener, you're up.
All right, we are currently sitting at 144 calls for the year. Now, hopefully we don't jinx it tonight. We did move all our training, so I don't have any training hours. The first one of the month was canceled due to weather. We had that nasty fog in. Moved to the 30th for the open house to try to get some more people to show up, as well as we're gonna put on an extrication demonstration and hopefully show off all our trucks and ambulances and get people involved. The state fire engine is here. The leased fire engine is here. It's almost in service. We have to order a couple more sections of hose to be compliant with what the state wants with our lease. And then it'll be up and running hopefully early next week.
And it'll be insured by then.
Okay, there is no.
I know, and I told her.
Okay,
Yeah.
and if she wants the state lease paperwork, it even says unknown on the year,
Unknown,
so.
yeah, okay.
It's a Vietnam era truck that's been
I
worked
let her-
over, Lord knows how many times. But it runs like a champ and it's gonna do everything
But
we
you
need it to
think
do.
that insured value should be that 70,000?
Yes, that's what the state said they wanted us to do.
Okay, and I confirmed that with her, so I didn't hear back, so she knows, she didn't say, oh, that's a problem, or anything, so I'm sure it's fine.
Okay, thank you. We've put on 2 new volunteers, Walter and Rick. They'll be around getting their stuff up and running. Have to thank all the volunteers that have been running calls day and night, snow, rain, whatever it is. Guys and gals have been out running calls, helping us and helping all of our neighbors around us. Thank you to the guys on deployment right now. They're in our thoughts and prayers. Thank you to Nancy and Lori and everybody helping keep those guys out on the road and keeping them in hotel rooms and food. And it's taking a village to keep a fire truck on deployment. It's a lot of work and daily contact multiple times a day with them to make sure everything's going okay. Everything seems to be going great so far. Like I said earlier, they're in Diamond, Oklahoma right now. Hopefully they'll be gone for the full 14 days before they get to come home.
Was Dave out with them?
No, Dave will not go.
No.
Dave is not available until the middle of June.
Okay.
His previous, or current employer would like him to stick around until they get all the flowers out of the greenhouse, I guess. And then we'll get him back on the road. With the state lease engine here, we will be able to list another fire engine if everything here stays promising.
Wow.
So we can possibly double our headaches with getting trucks out. But that'll also help bring in the income, yes. I apologize for killing the budget so early in the year. I didn't expect a lot of money to take off this quick.
I know.
Well,
So-
But it's a good problem.
It's a good problem
It's a
to
good
have,
problem,
but,
for sure.
We didn't expect
Yeah.
to see this either, so.
No, it's
Who would have ever
absolutely
thought that we'd
amazing.
be in this position?
Thank you to Ginger for all your help in cleaning and keeping us in line around here, keeping stuff stacked up. I appreciate it more than you know. The biggest thing I have on my list tonight is Ginger asked us to try to clean the station on the outside. We took fire hose and we took some soapy water and we scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed, and it looks like we need a paint job around the outside of the station.
Bad.
Just kind of on the radar, probably not a budget item this year, but something we need to look into early next year, probably spring this time, to get the building painted and some maintenance done on it. I can do some of the maintenance, Matt can help with some of the maintenance and get that done, but the paint job is
Big.
bigger than our capabilities and still be able to run calls throughout the day.
So can I ask, Nico said that he knew somebody that,
Correct, and he's gone, so I haven't been bothering him.
yeah.
So I'll get back
But
from
when you see
appointment.
him, ask him
Yep.
for that contact, so we can.
Okay,
Yeah,
Am I
we
okay
could
to go ahead and get a quote
To get
just
a
to-
quote
okay.
for
Yeah.
that for.
Yeah,
because
I'd like to
We'll
get a
be
quote.
doing this next budget in a few months.
yep, we're gonna be on it.
And also, if we can paint some of the really weathered sides, we're gonna paint it the same color, so if we could, you know, maybe do so much and then wait a few months and do so much more. I mean,
That
Yeah,
would
get
be
the
the
worst
ideal.
areas first.
yeah,
My other one tonight is we've lifted fire restrictions, except for what POAs and everybody wants, due to the snow and the rain. Hopefully it'll keep up this week with the holiday weekend coming on. Hopefully people can be responsible and have some fun. So we'll be reevaluating that on a daily basis. As soon as we go a couple days with straight sun, we're gonna go right back into a burn ban again. We're not gonna play around this year. So hopefully everybody gets a nice peaceful Memorial Weekend and can enjoy it responsibly. So
You can evaluate that every week.
I'm checking it daily and going through daily.
I noticed that, I saw in the news, one county, and I can't remember which one it was doing some emergency, you know, trimming of trees and et cetera because of the dry and.
Well, the county saved so much money on snow plowing, that's why they went down Copper Gulch and cut trees to help with that.
Including the apple trees.
Yeah. The apple trees is sort of subject right now. Apparently people think we used, department funds to plant the apple trees, which we did not. For the record, those trees were donated by some very generous folks in the community. The fence posts and the fence were donated by Fremont County Road and Bridge because I guilt tripped them into cutting our apple tree down, so they needed to help us back out. So the department is out no money. We had volunteers show up to help dig holes and a tractor show up, so the department was out $0.00 on that. We do conduct training once a week with the fire truck to make sure it pumps water, and if that happens to hit the apple tree, then so be it. But
Can we do a throwback and say thank you to our donors for
Yes.
Thank you.
that is all I have tonight, unless anybody has questions or concerns for me.
The two new volunteers you said, is that for fire?
Yes, they are fire. We are running into some staffing issues on the ambulance as far as paid staff with NEPA being deployed. So I have some volunteer firefighters that are coming in this week to get trained up on the ambulance to help fill in on those
That's
shifts
great.
and help save us a little bit on that. So we're doing everything we can to be as physical responsible with the budget as we can,
Yeah.
and yet get our guys out to go make some big bucks. So.
And, you know,
Yeah.
if we have to pay.
Yeah, these guys are all volunteering their time and said they'll fill in. Like Saturday, Jessica's not available until after 4, so James is gonna be down. He says he'll grab the ambulance from 8 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon for us, so. These guys are everybody's jumping in and putting in full effort right now to make sure our district's taken care of.
Is there some, like for insurance purposes, they just need to be officially volunteers?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's,
Yep.
because we don't have to identify people by name anymore.
Okay.
And
They're on the
license.
volunteer roster and they're listed as a volunteer.
And, okay.
The,
Perfect.
and in an absolute emergency,
Anybody
we can
can do
commandeer
that,
people
but
as needed,
that's
so.
right, but yeah, if, just as long as there's something.
Yep, they're on our roster and they're ready to go. So they're already firefighters, they're just gonna volunteer their time this weekend to help us get through the
Great,
weekend.
yeah, that's the easiest
And
way,
let-
because they are already approved.
But Roger and Jessica and Matt have family plans this weekend, so they'll all be able to go do their plans as accordingly. We don't have to call anybody back in, so that's a huge help for us.
It'd be nice to think of something that we could do for our volunteers.
I know.
And we had been talking about that, Bill Delker came up with an amazing idea that I want to explore some more of rewarding points for running calls, rewarding points for going to training, and after so many points, a gas card or something of that nature.
That's a good way to do it, incentivize.
Kind of a point system to get to the next
Yeah.
level. I wish I would have thought of that, but he brought it to me and I felt pretty silly for not thinking of that.
Yeah, that's a
We're
good.
gonna track
That's
that.
a great idea.
Yeah, we would have to track it and put that forward, but I'll do that on my time. I mean, I
And
got
then,
hours in the day, I can get that taken care of, if it's taking care of the volunteers and making sure everybody's helped out the best we can, especially with the cost of fuel right now.
No kidding.
right, yeah, that fuel would be a great idea.
I did get an email from JR asking our calls, just so everybody's aware, this year we've gone to Custer County just for the ambulance 21 times, given mutual aid to them, and we've requested it from them 3 times. So we're helping out our neighbors a lot. On the upside of that, we get that mileage charge plus the billing charge. So, I've talked a little bit with Custer County this afternoon. They are very busy. They're trying to help themselves with hiring staff and get people. They're in the same boat as everybody else. Budgets are tight and getting people up and running is difficult. So, we are running to Custer County a lot, but they're gonna come running if we need them to, so
Yeah,
that's where we're at with them. Just was kind of a weird stat. And then I was looking with the numbers provided, this 20% increase yearly. Within 6 years, we should break 3 calls a day, so it would be about 1,096 calls a year. That's a huge increase, and we all know that our calls take 2.5 to 3 hours apiece. So, again, we're
It
gonna.
would be good to graph that out, to,
Yeah, well, we ran 306 last year, we're expected to run 368-ish this year. And by 2032, we should be at 1,096 calls a day if we stay at that 20% increase. That's 3 calls a day, that's 10 hours of just back and forth.
and it certainly helps
That's gonna be
us.
pretty taxing on the district.
Mhm.
Something to look forward to, planning for the future, both manpower wise and apparatus wise. Because if we're running to Canyon or Salida 3 times a day, we're gonna run the wheels off the ambulance in a heartbeat, so.
Yeah, it isn't always, it's not just our payroll, it's our maintenance.
Correct. So just kind of a scary number to think about, that in 6 years we could over triple our call volume, and we're gonna be busy.
It sure shows our need for an ambulance,
Correct.
Commented.
So
which is really,
just random numbers that I've been playing with. But if anybody doesn't have any questions or concerns with me,
I'd like to, if you could, when you get a chance, just email those numbers to us all.
Okay.
Just so that we have them, because,
yeah, sometimes people ask those things, it'd be nice to.
yeah, somebody asked JR how much mutual aid we were giving versus
Yeah,
receiving.
Yeah,
So,
versus, yeah,
but
and
that's a
that's
back
just
and
this
forth.
year, so.
And that's a back and forth, because there was a time when they were
Correct.
here all the time and we never went there. So, now it's changed hands, but it can change back at any time too.
Correct, and it's a give and take relationship, but again, if we go over there, we either get the refusal fee from them, or we get the transport and the mileage.
So it's not.
It doesn't hurt us to do.
Yeah.
The billing company seems to be going very well and doing very well for us. Cassie has been absolutely amazing.
yeah, there seems to be more dollars.
They're trying to come by the first week of June, So when they come by, I'll send an email if you guys would like to meet
Oh,
them.
yeah.
They're going on a family vacation and they're gonna go to all the departments that they represent and bill for, so
Awesome.
Ah,
That'd be great.
I will send out a message and let you guys know when they're close.
All right, we do not have any old or unfinished business for this particular meeting. Do we have? No, okay, and then nobody signed up for public input, so we will go past that
Everybody's
one.
watching the hockey game.
Yeah, they sure are.
Let
Waiting,
us.
chomping at the bit to get out of here so we can. I'm trying, okay, so announcements, our next monthly board meeting will be June 17th, 2026. Unless we do have to call a special meeting, we'll obviously put all the appropriate notifications and stuff out for that. And then, Ms. Ginger, you want to give us a quick update on events?
Well, it was just, other than the flyers and the signs, you guys see our open house is gonna be on the last Saturday of this month, the 30th, so we're very excited about that. And, then we start the June yard sales, thank goodness, or the summer yard sales, I should say. That'll make some campers happy. But other than that, I don't really have other than the yard sales and the open house through August. I'm gonna sit back and kind of enjoy that because that's just yard sales. But yeah, other than that, I can't really think of anything. I do appreciate the chief right back. It's nice to be able to go and get stuff done when I ask it to, or at least attempt. Which does bring up though, Marcus, do you know if you're gonna be able to get your sign down and painted before, or is that gonna wait?
The station sign, my plan is to take it down and have it painted in the fall.
Okay,
We're still waiting the Cotopaxi fire station sign to get returned to us from the school.
right.
They said it would be done before the end of school and they're quickly running out of time. We kind of wanted to make a judgment call on that one before we gave them the second one.
Oh, so they'll be in our, okay.
That's
very
the hope.
That
We'll
is-
see how the first one turns out.
Very good, very good. And what Marcus and I discussed, and Lori, was having the open house hopefully in the fall then, down at Station 1. Depending on what we can get done.
That'll give us some time to get some more stuff done.
Yeah, I think a few more things done there. It certainly looks much better than it has for a long, maybe
It
forever.
If you haven't been down there, it looks absolutely
Yeah,
stunning. It's a new place.
yeah.
Great.
So,
Everybody's put in a ton of work down there and
Yeah,
they did an
Thanks to
amazing job.
everybody for that.
And I have not gotten a hold of CenturyLink yet, because I haven't had the, like, 3 or 4 hours to do
Wait on
that,
the
but
phone.
that's pretty much it for me.
it is on my list. And I keep writing it in different places, so.
All right, well, I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:23.
Second that.
All right, all in favor?
I